Every now and then, someone would mention the mod Minerva in the comments, and every time I would look at the page and then just close it. This was just another mod from the early days of Half-Life 2. Surely there's nothing too special about it. But then I read a comment somewhere that this mod got its creator, Adam Foster, a job at Valve, and after double checking that, it was true. Now, I had to check it out. Right on the main menu, a certain feeling washed over me. Right from this moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something special. And oh yeah, just a heads up, I'm playing this mod with mmod, which I highly recommend. mmod does change up the weapon models and the gameplay aspects, but I think it's a very suitable supplement to go along with Minerva. Anyway, let's begin. The story starts with us, a random nobody approaching the island on a chopper. We drop straight into the heavy gunfire, and after a bit of retaliation from the Combine, we run away to the other side. On the top left, we get messages from someone. We get a new message saying that they are our Athena and we are their bastard Perseus. I have no idea why this Greek mythology is being used here and what it means, but it's there. These messages are a bit helpful as they actually tell your objectives and plan of action, what to do, and it's also a really nice storytelling tool as well later on in the mod. Sure, it's deviating from the standard gameplay of Half-Life, but it's still a nice little addition. Now, keep in mind, mmod only adds in new post-processing effects and particle effects, like it doesn't change the mapping of the mods. So this mapping and this texture work is all from the mod itself, and I gotta say, for a mod that came out in 2006 and 7, this ain't half bad. While the visuals of the maps might look basic from afar, upon closer inspection you'll notice how polished everything feels. There's no misaligned textures, there's no glaring visual glitches. All of this feels like something that Valve would have put out back in the day, like, Lost Coast. What I genuinely liked the most is how Adam Foster was able to perfectly capture the lighting style of Half-Life 2. Like, seriously. Put any Half-Life 2 map next to the maps in Minerva and you cannot tell them apart. That's how great all this looks. Alright, so we're basically assaulting the Combine emplacement on the island, and we are here to investigate and find out why are the Combine here in the first place. What are they hiding? This leads us to one of the underground areas where we have to find a security console to open up the base ahead of us. One thing I have to add is that while Minerva did come out in parts between 2006 and 7, the Steam release of Minerva actually came out in 2013, and it's like a sort of like director's cut of the mod. Basically that means that is the most polished and complete version of the mod. So we open up a door that leads to the central part of the island, which has this giant power generator and a laser coming out of the island. The messages also keep you well informed of what everything is and what you have to do, but it uses words like geosynchronous orbit, and yeah, it's kinda hard to understand for a non-native speaker like myself. Now begins our expedition into this island. The first level is your typical World War II era bunker that the Combine have transformed into their own, and with one of the main gates locked, we again need to find a way to unlock it. A lot of the mod is like this, where you progress and then comes to a stop and find a way to unlock a door or a gate and then repeat. But these messages keep you interested in the story as well. The way they are written make you feel there's something big going on down here. Especially this part where I did unlock the gate and then the message goes like, yeah, there's a bunch of soldiers coming at you, get ready you bastard. Then you hear footsteps of the soldiers but can't see them. This was genuinely making my heartbeat go fast. After fighting the soldiers, we get into an elevator and head further down into the Combine base. And man, The atmosphere, the vibe these maps give you is so goddamn great. This specific part has a rusty and rundown feeling to it that's so well done. Also, I haven't talked much about the combat encounters, but man, with M-Mod, every combat encounter feels so adrenaline rushing. This is all due to how well the enemy placement is in every section. Anyway, we smash open this gate and learn something about this place. The Combine are doing genetic experiments on humans and headcrabs, and they're mixing them together and whatnot. Very cheerful. Once again, the sheer excellence that shines through these sections and designs is amazing. I'd even go as far as to say that these Combine interior designs are better than the ones we see in the Half-Life 2 retail story. It truly encapsulates the disturbing and inhumane nature of the Universal Union and the Combine. So here we find out they're also repackaging headcrab larvae to put into artillery shells so they can infect humans with its parasite. So now we have to definitely shut this place down. Let's take a minute to talk about Athena, who's sending us messages and most likely sent us to this island in the first place. To begin with, we don't know who it is. Yeah, from the later messages, I'm not even sure if it's human or not. Maybe it's artificial intelligence? The great thing about these messages is that they are not very exposition heavy. They tell you what you need to do, but with a smidgen of backstory about Athena and us, Perseus. On that note, Perseus's identity is kept anonymous. There are hints that we are a traitor to the Combine and the rebels as well, so who and what is Perseus? Who is this we're playing as that has a stolen HEV suit on? Dead ends like these is what I love about this type of storytelling. It leaves it open and relies on the player to think about it and indulge in the mystery. Also, Adam Foster did such a great job at making this feel like a Valve product that he also spammed the shit out of the manhacks in some places. Just like Half-Life 2. Goddamn. Another thing I have to mention is how smoothly this whole mod plays. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, a large majority of the mod is laid out in a way that doesn't make you stop and think and try to figure out how to move forward. It all flows smoothly. You'll immediately know what to do next and where to go. But not 100% of the time. There are one or two moments which I'll mention when they arrive. But yeah, the way it keeps on going without frustration is a big plus. Moving down further, we come across this huge area, and once again the visual theme of this Combine installation is so good looking. I'm amazed that a mod did a much better job at creating Combine aesthetics than Valve themselves. Athena tells us the power cores in this central shaft provide the same level of energy that was around the heart of the Citadel in City 17. Eerie. There's something very powerful down below that this thing is powering. After that, Athena tells us that this part of the place is non-biological, meaning all those genetic experiments are left behind us. Down here, there's other experiments that are being worked on by the Combine, and we need to find out what it is. I was going on my merry way until I got caught in a confiscation field. There go all my weapons. This will later start a cat and mouse chase with the Combine, which I'll get into in a bit. After that, another elevator, and oh boy, is this a long one. We arrive at this power generator that is taking solar energy and pumping dark matter into the Combine's machinery. This absolute and totalistic nature of the whole place feels amazing. Then we get ambushed by a bunch of soldiers, and now we have to get to the cat and mouse chase part. And I like how the mod will repeatedly taunt you that there's halls full of weapons or ammo boxes, but you can't access them at all for now. And if I haven't made it clear already, this is a beautiful looking mod. There are literally zero things about the visuals that I find bad. On top of that, the Combine aesthetics that this mod presents is something that I would totally believe the Combine architecture to actually be like. After that, we come to this gigantic chamber and it starts powering up. a message comes in from Athena. First time it's feeling scared of what's happening. Athena emphasizes on the fact that we need to end this operation. We need to cause as much damage as possible and stop this portal from ever operating again. And so we get to work. I found a wrench on the ground which I dropped into this little opening in the ground, and that seemed to do something. After that I looked around for weapons and got myself an AR-2 and some grenades. Then we find a button to close the portal, which I found kind of hilarious. Like, why does this thing easily stop with the press of a button? But I don't mind it. Athena again asks us to go back to the central power chamber and do something about it. Shut it down by any means necessary. On our way back, we are met with heavy resistance from the Combine, and this was really fun. With Athena's messages, the overall tone of the mod became a lot more grim. The mod does a great job at conveying how serious this all is. In the central chamber, there are these buffers on the walls that are basically acting like fuses for the power generator. They stop the generator from undergoing any malfunction, so, of course, with each buffer getting taken down, a swarm of soldiers come in to stop us, so this was a fun and challenging section. And with the final buffer down, the power generator shuts off, and then Athena strikes the final blow. Athena has instructed a laser satellite to blow this place to Kingdom Come, while we're still in it. And so, but yet, we live. The HEV suit kept us barely alive. It restores its systems and we rise up from the ashes. Now the goal is simple. Athena, surprised to learn that we're still alive, will strike the island one more time. And this time around, we most likely will not survive the impact. So now we have to run like hell and get to the surface amidst this destroyed Combine behemoth. With some of the power still functional, we get into the elevator and start our journey back up. The fight back to the top is equally as fun as the fights we had to get down here. Apart from ourselves, there's a bunch of zombies here now cause, there was a literal headcrab warehouse up there. Plus there's also some Combine soldiers who arrived from the surface to take us out. This part here was one of the places where I got genuinely stuck. The mod does give you a hint by sparking the wires here, but I had no idea that I was supposed to shoot them. Afterwards it's again backtracking, but I dig this kind of backtracking. This time around everything's either on fire or completely destroyed. Plus Athena also gives us a hint that we don't really need to fight every single thing we see, so it's better to make a run for it. And even though there's no real time limit or anything like that, it makes the experience feel like you genuinely need to hurry up before Athena strikes the island with the laser satellite again. And this part here was the second place where I got stuck. Because I was playing in a rush, I neglected to see that this open pipe area I needed to turn the valve here, and then go and turn this valve, and then finally this one so it explodes. Finally we get to the surface where a bunch of Combine soldiers are already waiting for us. Athena instructs us to get to the old arch for our exfil. I gotta mention, I really like the skybox here, how a lot of it is covered with dark clouds because of the explosion, and we can see a little bit of the sun in the horizon. It's a mood. Then before our chopper could arrive to pick us up, a Combine gunship arrives instead, which basically acts like the final boss of the mod, but it isn't that difficult to take down. At the end, the chopper arrives, we get on it, Athena hits the island with a final laser strike, and that's Minerva. And all I can say is, wow, just wow. I can't believe I've been putting this mod off just because of how old it is. Now that I've experienced it, I can firmly say that this mod is definitely of legendary status. No doubt one of the best and ever classic mods for Half-Life 2. Minerva is a short experience, taking around 1 hour at max, or 2 hours. But man, it packs so much variety in those hours. At every floor you'll see a variation of Combine architecture and technology. Every floor has a fantastic gunfight encounters with the Combine soldiers, and every set piece is adrenaline rushing. And overall, the visual presentation makes it feel like you're playing an official Half-Life 2 expansion or episode, as if it was made by Valve themselves. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't played it before. With or without mmod, it's still a masterclass at good map design, great texture work, and excellent gameplay design. And that's pretty much it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. Taylor, Unusual, Mr. Grass, Igorius, Zamps, Barney FPM, Hemmep CPY, Reekling Slayer, Schindler's Pissed, Goisey, Hawk, Fisher Grice, Pujo, Dream Vikings, Marinoa 213, Alexi, Anose98, ATSF GP30, A Normal Street Lamp, Mr. Spaban, Geout, TS Stromer, Scary Stalker, It's Juro, Scooms, Quandale Hazard, Imperial Embers, T-Boy301, Jack5282, Lucky You, Quiltman, 501st Clone Boy, TTG, Robocob Noel, Tedosaur, Lambdre, Roadkill, Walter, Hawk Assault, Jelen, TRR Droid, and Bipolit. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.